Hello everybody and welcome back to Ammo Virtual Bus. It's me and more central. Hello everybody, yes, that same Yorkshire voice. I'm also known as Ammo Bus Videos, and on here I'm known as Ammo Virtual Bus. And you join me back in Lincolnshire version 5. The work in progress beta release that has been kind of handed to me by Mr. Moose, who has also handed it to a couple of other people so that we can showcase the new route to you all as a little bit of a teaser and test it out to see what gremlins and little OMSI bits like that may sort of peep in that we can get rectified before it goes on public release. So in front of us we have the E200 MMC 10.8 metre, the special 10.8 metre mod that was made as an additional bit to enhance as part of the E200 MMC enhancement pack. So you can download the base bus by V3D and Fellas Film forums, and then on the same forums you can download this enhancement pack, which gives you the standard 10.8 metre as well as different specifications and set bars inside. For example, this one has the Stagecoach Beach Bowl bucket seats inside it. So in this video we're going to take another spin on the 47 service. We are going to do it from Retford back to Retford, and I wanted to take a drive of it in something a little bit different. This time with the blinds working, as I did work out my slight error with the blinds. It was kind of me. It was related to the fact that I had the wrong Hoff on it, although to be fair the issue is I think if I'd have had the Hoff that it was supposed to have, I don't think it would have worked either, or it wouldn't have shown definitely. So I've got the right Hoff set up. As you can see, it's got Ordsall on the front. I'm going to take this only 47 round the loop and back again. As I say, because we've already done it once, this time we can have a little bit more of a clear nose, that's a curve, a little bit more of a clear nose as to what's going on, spot some bits and bobs that we may not have spotted last time, and all of that lovely stuff. So it's been a while since I've actually been to real life Retford. At one point I used to go loads, but now that the ALX400 Tridents have gone, and arguably at the moment Workshop has more interesting Tridents, I'm just not going over to Retford. I do need to make a trip over to Workshop though. At the moment they've got the X5 Scottish Dennis Trident 2E400 that I am desperately after, so I'm going to get that in very soon. It has bizarrely arrived at Workshop. All the original branding's been taken off it for 5, they put Stagecoach names on it. It said it's full sort of engine rebuild and bits like that, so it's back, 56 plate, back out in service, so it's cracking. So that is on the required list. I'm going to try and get that in later the week. I'm filming this actually, later on, all being well. Later on in this week. I've got a few bits to get actually, because Cawthorns have just acquired, there we go, they're all waiting for us this time. Cawthorns have just acquired the X-Tiger European B7R Elite, so they've got that, so I won't mind that. Then we're getting some of the ex-West of England and originally Worcester B7R Elites as well, so we're getting a few of them. So it's all actually quite exciting at the moment. All the bits and bobs that we're getting. Then we're getting the ex-Bradford Eclipses. Yes, ex-West Yorkshire, I have already been on all of them, but again, they'll be cool running around Sheffield. Then we're getting the ex-Solon. We're then getting the ex-Solon B90L Geminis, one of which I've been on in Southampton, the other one I haven't been on at all. So again, that's exciting. And it's just an exciting time at the moment for South Yorkshire buses, to be fair. And we sort of go through these random periods where everything will get really boring, and then all of a sudden we'll just have absolute tons of stuff happening. And it's just one of those where, like, sometimes you go to Rotherham and there's just nothing, but now there's this new Cawthorns B7R Elite kicking about, and so you've got that, then you've got 19064, so you've got absolutely all sorts kicking off, and then the Eclipses, it's exciting. Now what's even more exciting to discover is that 69460, I mean it might be different at the time this actually releases, but 69460 that hasn't service at Doncaster isn't the only Eclipse 2 that is currently situated in South Yorkshire on that batch. In fact, or the ones that have come from West of England, I should say, because we've already got vehicles that batch. We've got quite a few 59 plates. However, those vehicles, the other ones that were down at the West of England bar, I think about 3, have all ended up appearing at Olive Grove. Fully refurbished inside, retrimmed, looking really nice. So I think all of them are going to be entering service in South Yorkshire. That is incredibly exciting, very, very exciting stuff. It does make sense because we do have the other WX59s, so it does make full, entire sense if we got them and ran them. And it's also really cool for me because that means I'm pretty much been on every single Eclipse that we that as Plus UK have operated, bar the ones in Aberdeen that got control over some time ago actually. Yeah, it's pretty cool what's going on at the moment. I definitely need to spend the day around workshop just getting Tridents in. That's a definite, because I've got a few other ex-Manchester ones as well, so it is quite an exciting time for the workshop area, to be fair. So it is more required around there at the moment, I think, than it has been lately. It's deceptively tight, is this, because of that bit that sticks out. There you go. Deceptively tight. It's because you sort of line it up and then you get that extra bullet that sticks out the junction, you like that. Sometimes something that developers can forget when you do the houses and the floor and stuff like that. You can sometimes forget having all the trees and the chisels and stuff. They really do. Bring the area out a little bit, and you can tell that I've sort of selected an autumnal look with the trees that again just adds a bit more character. The only negative I will say about this enhancement pack is because of the new driving position, you can't see the speedometer properly. Now don't get me wrong, the new driving position's cool, but this was probably one of the very few buses that I did actually like the original driving position. Bar the mega zoom on the steering wheel, I think a little bit less zoom on the steering wheel, but that was perfect. I do think that this position though is a little bit too high up. Just for the sake of OMSI, not for the sake of realism, as people obviously are different heights and sit differently and all that lot, but for the sake of OMSI too, you want to be just a little bit lower than this, you can see the speedometer properly, especially in an MMC. So again, it's a good time as we look down a road that looks like it goes into the void. Just to mention that this is a work in progress. It is not representative of the final product. There is still lots and lots and lots of work that Mr. Moose is currently doing behind the scenes to make sure that this is an incredibly good product when it releases as version 5. This is also not the only thing that Mr. Moose is currently working on route-wise, although I can't tell you anything more at the moment. It's all a little bit secretive, but as I say, when it is worked on, I'm pretty certain I will be giving you a little bit of a first look into it. So, but all I'm going to say is that the latest developments Mr. Moose is working on behind the scenes are incredibly exciting. Very, very exciting. So it's just one of these watch this space kind of things, because there's going to be a lot more coming to this for the next release. So as I say, it might be a little bit longer, and again we've got to remember with this map it is literally one person working their socks off on their personal project that they've decided to make public, and that, as I say, we're very honoured to be able to drive on here and explore and enjoy it. So again, just remember that this is someone's personal project. This is something that they put their heart and soul into, so they decide when it's ready. So before you start asking, is there going to be a release day, when is it, it all depends on when the person making it is happy that their project is ready to be shown off. And as I say, I'm very honoured at this point that I've been chosen as one of the people to show it off. I do know Mr. Moose rather well now actually, better than I thought I did. But as I say, I'm still very, very honoured to be high enough profile to showcase it to you all. And as I say, lots of new features with this. I mean, you look at the houses, you look at the scenery, and again, as I discussed last time, oh, that van's going to drive into me. I'm going to reverse. I wouldn't usually do that in this situation, but because I saw that the AI decided to get a blooming good run up with that, I was like, the AI is not gonna let me through. Usually in a situation like that, you can assess the speed, but then when I realised the van got to a straight boot in it, I thought, he's not gonna give in. So let's not risk. I just went into human driving mode there and assumed that because I got there first, go through, the vehicle and stay at the same speed, forgetting that it is the AI world of OMSI 2, where you've got to be a little bit more cautious of things like that. For example. Excellent. Now, I have been told by Mr. Moose, it has taken me a while to get round to filming these and the ad store videos actually. So as I say, just bear with me that I've just been so busy lately. That's why there's a bit of a gap in videos, because I've just not had the chance, unfortunately. It's nice to be back, I must say. But I got sent these all across a fair while ago actually. I've just not had a chance to get videos done. To have the time off, that, as I say, has been quite nice to have a bit of spare time now on a couple of early mornings to get them recorded. That's been cool. So it's worth noting that since Mr. Moose sent us these this update, so I'm going to say these, and they're just going to be since Mr. Moose gave us this map with these routes on it, that's the way I wanted to say it, the 47 and the 47A extension, the Retford locals have apparently been put up as a service change for remodelling for the first time since the 1990s, so it's quite funny that we're all driving around the 47 when, as I understand it, the routes are all changing, and it's changing how it runs. I haven't had a proper look at the service changes yet, but I understand that they will be happening very, very soon. I would imagine that by the time this map does release, knowing what this route is like, the service numbers could change. It depends on the era we're going for. I mean, I personally prefer the stagecoach era, but I also know that Mr. Moose does like reflecting sort of the road car area on these. So if we do remain with the stagecoach area, you can probably expect some slight service and possibly a minor route deviation with these when it releases. I don't think there will much change to the routes, but I think route numbers and how they work might ever so slightly change, just to stay up with sort of realism and all of that lot. But again, it is so typical that when you finish working on something, after working on it for a fair few months, Stagecoach in real life come along and decided to change the service numbers about. Always the way. I did think it was quite funny though. Very, very funny. Although I have also been there where when I used to work on the Harrowford map, I'd introduce a route ran something based on real life, and then the first thing I'd read after finishing it, after a couple of months of working on it, developing a route, first thing I'd hear is, oh yeah, that route's been withdrawn and it's been renumbered and it's changed. I'm just there like, why? Why would you do that? But these things happen. Keep it exciting, I suppose. Hey, it's the East Coast Main Line. We like that. And what's quite cool about this route is on this side and on the other side at the moment on the Retford town, you sort of follow along with the East Coast Main Line that I think is really cool. So you follow along this section and another as well. That I do think is pretty awesome, I'm going to be honest.
Sweetie.
I will admit I do like driving the 7C. It annoys me, and I imagine someone will know how to do it. It annoys me I can't get the registration plate on. If anybody does know how to do that, please do let me know. Because I've sort of tried a few different methods within the registration picker, and it's just not worked. So if anybody has a way of getting the reg plate to actually properly show us it should do, please do let me know. It might just be a simple thing of regs, but obviously don't start delving with stuff like that and change bits around if it's not actually that in the first place. But this is an ideal route, an ideal bus for this. Gainsborough depot that operate the 47 don't have any little E200 MMCs like this, although they do very occasionally get one for a day or two if it ends up being swapped at Lincoln on the 106. That has happened a couple of times. So Gainsborough itself does see 200 MMCs, but the depot doesn't tend to have any. That kind of just varies on breakdowns and stuff. I don't know, I think they have had one on loan for a couple of days before. I remember looking, it sort of arrived on a 106 and kind of stayed for a couple of days and then disappeared again on a morning 106 board where they tried it or something and another swapped around. But they aren't regular performers there. They are, as I say, regular performers at 10.8 metre capacity in Lincoln, and whether they do cascade them out at some point soon, don't know. We'll have to see. Lincoln's always struck me as an odd one because Lincoln is a city, it has quite a major metropolitan network, but it's sort of running the same capacities like East Midlands runs Gainsborough and Ordsall and those areas where the vehicles that they use and how they operate, it doesn't feel like it's a city network, but it actually is. It's really, really strange, Lincoln, when I went. I mean, when I went though, and I didn't know this at the time, they were plagued by driver shortages, so they were cancelling stuff left, right and centre. I had a load of torrential rain come down as well, so I did get a couple of bits in, like a Trident 2, some darts and bits, but sadly wasn't as an exciting of a day as I just thought. But these things do happen.
Hello, lad.
Now I do need to go to Lincoln. I want to go on that number 2 service, the Retford to Lincoln bus, because I know there's quite a few people that I wanted to see a video of that, and I do want to go on it. I want to see the variety of vehicles they're using, because I have seen photos of them quite literally using everything on it. Literally everything that they own has operated on that route. So I am interested in popping to see it, whether I decide to go down in the car or whether to Retford and then join it from Retford, or whether I go down on the bus is a very different story. But I do want to pop down and have a look. I do need to get in touch with Black Cat Travel as well. I want to pop down to their depot and have a little nosy because they've got some brand new vehicles as well for their school services this year.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
No. Oh, that used to be something I thoroughly enjoyed doing as a kid, just replying to that automated voice. Like, who on earth gets on a bus and says that? Is it me you're looking at? No, no, the bus driver's surely never out looking for passengers. No. Don't get me wrong, they drive buses around looking to make sure no one's at the bus stop, but a quiet bus is a happy bus. Never willingly go out looking for people. Although some people might. Depends on the area and the high level of competition that you're in, I suppose. So we go past my favourite pub with all the wooden benches outside. I do think wooden benches are amazing. I do really approve of that setup. It's basic, but it works so well. So obviously it keeps it so that what we're driving is quite low poly, so we're not lagging that much, and we can use high detailed vehicles on here. So it is kept basic, but it is also still detailed with the benches, with the variety of the scenery, with the trees, with the shrubbery, with the cars.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
No, still no. And my answer continues to be no. That wobble was me going into my free mode, and then an ever so slight freeze, an ever so slight loss of a frame. And I was like, oh, we're going to hit the pavement, but we didn't, and that's fine.
Good day, driver.
Goodbye. I just always love the vibe of the sort of Lincolnshire map. As I say, as someone that does still travel into that area pretty often, it's so cool to sort of drive around the area, and just with how big this map is. I know I say it every single time. I sound like a broken record every time I drive Lincolnshire, but you can literally drive like 100 miles in this map. It is absolutely bonkers. Like, you drive Retford to Gainsborough, start on a local, Retford to Gainsborough. Then you can do either Gainsborough, Lincoln, Gainsborough, Scunthorpe. It's absolutely amazing just how much drivable opportunity there is, and the area that was chosen is perfect. Seriously perfect, because you've just got so much variety of routes that you can offer, and obviously localised depots. And at the moment, everything's still a Gainsborough depot operated route, so it keeps it to one depot. But it would be so cool. We'll reverse it again, because I learned that from the last video. It's just actually not worth taking something on. Now, if the EP had have actually worked well and not frozen it, and not frozen itself. Go on. Are you not going? way then. We can do it, it's just painfully tight. I mean, to be fair, I should have just gone for that in the first place. But I just thought, no, we'll make life easier, and then OMSI2 just went, no, that's not an option we provide. And as I say, because in real life, if a car was turning right at that junction and saw the bus turning right, then move across. Or if you turned and then had to stop, then move across. So, or you'd also wouldn't freeze when you change camera view. That I would imagine also helps when you're changing your point of view and you're turning your head, you don't freeze. So I would have been able to react a little bit quicker.
Hello.
You know, I have never once driven an 800 MMC where the doors open that while you're moving that quick. I thought I'd give it a go just to see, because I know that when I've been doing low speeds I've opened. But yeah, I do really miss driving 800 MMCs. That's a really strange thing to say, and I hear it as I say it, but I do really miss driving. I really, really do. I used to drive them every evening. And I liked them. Fully working heating. Oh, there's a passenger. Fully working heating. Absolutely like the newer ones with the really nice dashboard as well, the electronic dashboard. Still no. Really nice dashboard on them. Even the newer one that we had a new steering wheel on it. Easy to start, easy to run, easy to maneuver. Because they were voices, they weren't the quickest off the map. Once I got up to speed, they were cracking. Absolutely ideal. Seriously good buses. And I didn't do driving them. It was just a shame what happened. But so is with life, unfortunately. And I must be one of the only people that says nice driving. Not many people. You won't hear many people, especially bus enthusiasts of some capacity, saying that. That's for sure. KFC, fair dosage. Changed the line, did I? Although to be fair, it is run as a circular, so presumably. Is there a lot? Oh no, with how they're set up at the moment, okay. They may possibly get split in the middle. At the moment they're split in the middle, so you do the Ordsall circular and then the Holcroft circular. However, I do think when it's released there will probably be a minute or so terminal point on the Ordsall and on the Holcroft, just so you can change the blind through if they are operated in this capacity. If not, changing and how this plate needs to change, it might be totally different. We're slightly early on that run, but just no messing about, just kept driving. There we go, moving the right way now. So we'll park it back where we found it. And there we go. So that was the 47 route again. The currently the first of the new routes for Gainsborough version 5. As I say, we had the whole Croft section in. We now have the Ordsall section in as well, so you can ride both sections of route in version 5 that's coming very, very soon. Again, a reminder, as I did say at the beginning of the video, that this is still a work in progress. You may have seen bits in this video that are not finished, AI behaving badly, or bits that, as I say, aren't finalised, or cars stuck in curbs, anything like that. Do bear in mind that it is still a work in progress. It is one person working on this project. Yes, just one person. It is a passion project. So as I say, they're doing it in their spare time. So just bear with. These problems will get solved. That's why we're out doing the videos. That's why we're out beta testing, to ensure that this work in progress is the best and highest quality it can be for its full release. So just bear that in mind. Do remember as well that it is just one person, so there is no release date yet. I know that they are aiming for a sort of release point, but again, things get in the way. They might want to finalise something, might want to add something else, so just bear with. But it is definitely on its way, and as you can see, you've got another excellent addition on the TAM network in Retford as well, meaning you can do the full 47 route. That'll be absolutely cracking. There are other bits behind the scenes I can't tell you about, but there are also going to be some other exciting stuff for version 5. For now though, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Virtual Bus YouTube channel for more content like this from the OMSI2 world, including, as I say, version 5 for Gainsborough. I've been looking at the App Store project beta 6, quite a few more videos on the App Store project to come after this as well, amongst quite a few other bits and bobs in between. If you do have a bus that you're working on, a repaint that you've made, or a map that's work in progress that you'd like me to show off on the channel as well, you can email me at amc.andmorecentral@gmail.com. The link for this is in the description below. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Bye for now. Bye.